Okay, welcome everyone. Let's do it. Let's get started. Welcome to the final in our series where we've been highlighting our resources, and our session today is all about our mindful movement curriculum, which is something really pretty special. So I'm excited to share it with you. Just a quick reminder that we're a private operating foundation, so our goal is to give back to the world of education and some other like-minded organisations. If you've just met me for the first time, hi, I'm Jill. I've been in this role for such a long time, maybe 14 years or so, and I'm so lucky to do what I do, and happy to share our resources with you today. So we're going to start off by hitting the reset button, right? That's what we want to do for ourselves as adults, and that's what hopefully you will see the benefit of the mindful movement curriculum in helping your kiddos reset when they need it. So just sit comfortably in your chair, or if you're on the floor or in a comfy chair, just make yourself comfortable, eyes open or closed, and we're just going to take a little reset. So what I'd like you to do first of all is notice your heartbeat. What's your heart doing right now? Is it beating fast or slow? Where do you actually really feel the beat of your heart? Really observe it. And check in with your breathing. Is your breath fast or slow? Are you breathing all the way into your abdomen? Or do you breathe more around your chest, your neck, your shoulders? Notice your breath at your nostrils. Is it warm or cool? And then take a quick check-in for you. How do you actually feel right now? Tired, curious, excited, sad, happy, hungry, thirsty? It really doesn't matter. No right or wrong answer, right? It's just you taking a moment to notice you. And if your eyes were closed, just open them. And for a moment, just notice how you feel. Just bear in mind that everything that I share with you today and that we've shared over the past few weeks is available online. You can just log into pureedgeinc.org and set up an account. You can scan this QR code right here on the screen, and that'll take you straight to the account registration page. But that's how you're going to access all of our resources. We don't have any printed material we can send out. You just find everything you need online. And we also have an app, so you can go to the App Store and download our Brain Breaks app, which is really pretty great. So at the heart of everything we do is breathe, move, rest. All our strategies are centered around those three simple things, and certainly that's very important for our mindful movement curriculum. I love this quote by James Nestor. He wrote a book called The Breath, and the missing pillar in health is breath. It all starts here. And I wanted to start with this slide just to emphasize the fact that when you're teaching movement, the breath is as equally important as the movement itself, right? So you want to make sure that you're coaching the kids on how to breathe, telling them when to take an inhale and an exhale, because the breath is really important. And it's a nasal breath. There's many reasons for that. And there are times where inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth is appropriate breathing for the activity that you're doing. But for this type of activity, we really want to try and focus on this in through the nose and out through the nose. What we hope that when you're using a physical practice, that you and the kids that you work with learn by using and moving their body, they learn what it feels like to move in life, in their experiences, in their day-to-day general living, in a thoughtful, non-reactive way. And for all of us to be non-reactive is really difficult. And what you will find is that these mindful movement sequences really help the kids to experience that, to see the difference between being reactive and non-reactive. If you've joined me today and you are currently a PE teacher or a coach, great. Or if you're a classroom teacher, it doesn't matter. You know about the benefits of exercise, but I wanted you just to see this slide. Every time I see it, it reminds me I don't have to achieve maybe what I thought I wanted. 11 minutes of exercise can reverse the health effects of sitting all day. Sometimes we have a habit of thinking, I wanted to go to the gym for 45 minutes and I've only got 30 left. I won't bother. But just doing 11 minutes of movement is really beneficial to us. And the short sequences I'm going to share with you today are round about that time frame. Our PE curriculum on the website, you're going to find K through 5 and 6 through 12. And you're going to find implementation guides as well. So you've got the curriculum itself with all the sequences laid out, and you've got an implementation guide to help you formulate the best way to deliver these sequences. And they're really easy to integrate. They're easy to integrate into what you're already doing. And they're great because this pure PE curriculum, these sequences help build strength and flexibility and coordination, and they all end with relaxation. It's an integral part, breathe, move, and the rest. So we're also helping the kids learn how to unwind, how to relax, right? Which again, easier said than done. I think when you look at the curriculum, there's a lot in there. There's a lot of sequences. There's a lot of movement pieces to learn. Remember to focus on the breath. And I think it's also important that the way the manual's laid out, the sequences build on each other if you do it day to day or week to week. So it's really a recommendation that you follow the order that we've outlined in the manual. It just makes it easier for you. There's a certain amount of repetition, so you're teaching a new sequence, but the kids will have remembered some from the sequence before, and it just makes learning easier and teaching easier. To help you out a little bit and encourage you to use our pure PE curriculum, it's been approved by the Society of Health and Physical Educators, SHAPE, right? So SHAPE has approved our curriculum and it hits your national PE standards. So as you go through your year and you've got to hit your targets and your goals, know that using our curriculum is going to help you in that department. It's not like you're thinking, well, if I do this, oops, my slides are way ahead of themselves. Then I'm not meeting my goals and I'll have to teach something else as well. It's not. So they can be worked, intertwined with what you're currently teaching, and you're going to manage to hit your standards. I'm just keeping an eye on my time. So when we think about using movement and breath to help kids with their regulation, I thought you might find these couple of slides healthy. So kids naturally in life, and adults do too, get into the blue zone and the red zone. So the blue zone is where kids might be a little bit uncommunicative, slightly withdrawn, not engaging with you or with their peers. Again, normal behaviour if there's something going on. And then there's also the red zone. That's where kids are mad or angry or furious or upset, and they feel really strong emotions. Again, it's not wrong. It's normal human behaviour. But what we know through studies is that simple mindful movement sequences help get kids here. Now, the green zone is when they're the best version of themselves. Their brain is more able to understand, to communicate, to build relationships, to learn, to have memory, to get to sleep, right? To be in the green zone. So what you're doing when you teach these sequences to kids is allow them to understand that, yes, of course they'll go here. These are perfectly normal behaviours, but breathe, move, rest can help them get back to here. So they're allowed to experience all of those emotions, but you want to help them get back on track. We know that breath helps bring the prefrontal cortex, that's the reasoning, planning, problem solving, decision making part of the brain, back online. So when you see they're in the blue zone and the red zone, no, their prefrontal cortex is absolutely not online. In fact, it's offline. right? When it's online, they're in the green zone. So breath helps with that. And so does movement, right? Get a child moving and their mood will change, right? We like to say move it or lose it. So we know that by doing these simple movement sequences, we're really helping the kids get into their green zone and get their upstairs brain, as it's nicknamed, their prefrontal cortex, back online. So, because time is of the essence here, we are going to do a sequence together. Now, the sequence I have in front of you, and I have a few here that I'll just show you after we've done one, have all the movement laid out for you in correct order, the sequence. Now, you'll notice that some of them in this sequence one have little asterisks on them. We put those there in the essence of time. So say your class came late, there's something else going on, your time was cut short and you don't have the time to dedicate the full sequence. The ones with the asterisks you can leave out, and this sequence is still very robust. It's still hitting all the spots. Now, because we only have 30 minutes today, I'm going to do exactly that. So I'm going to take out chair, cat, cow, and I'm going to take out rock so that we can focus on the other things. And then the idea being that when you taught this sequence again, you try and make sure to get chair, cat, cow and rock into the sequence before you moved on to the next one. So everybody, let's give it a go. I'm just going to change my screen a little bit. Now I have a visitor. You can see him. That's Gus. So yeah, Gus, you're in the way. Come on. Good boy. I'm just making sure that you can see most of my body, okay? Yeah, that looks like you can see me from start to finish. So what I'd like you to do is just make sure you've got some space around you, because we're going to be going forward, we're going to be stepping right and stepping left. So you want to make sure you're not going to bump into any furniture. And the first thing, yes, I know, Gus, you sit down, sit. Seated mountain, good job. So the feet are hip distance apart, your hands are by your side. This is mountain. So this is the basis for everything that you'll do in your movement sequence. Either standing mountain here or seated mountain on the floor. Hands are by your side. And what I'd like you to do is first and foremost find your breath. So we're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Slow, steady breath in. Slow, steady breath out. Just do a couple more. Relax your shoulders, your jaw, your face, your neck. Slow, steady breath in. Feel your feet on the floor. Slow, steady breath out. One last time. Slow breath in. And slow breath out. Now the first movement in the sequence is mountain sunrise, and you want to do this 2 or 3 times. So let's just do it together. So for this, you inhale to sunrise, look up, and exhale back to mountain. Now the breath leads the movement, and I think that's nice to cue that when you're teaching it. Breathe in to reach up. Look up at the ceiling. Breathe out, bring your hands down by your side. Let's do one more. Inhale, arms up. Look up at the ceiling. Exhale, arms come back to mountain. The next piece in our movement sequence is called big toe, and it's exactly that. We are going to take our hands towards our big toes. When you teach something like that, which is a big movement, offer options. So number 1, I would say, go to your knees, right? This is a nice starting place. If you think you can go further, go to your shins, right? And if you think you can go all the way, go to the floor. So that's some adaptations you can make to make it accessible for all, and that's really important. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me a little bit better. My feet are still hip distance apart, my hands are by my side, I'm in mountain. Another variation that you can offer in this pose, big toe, is to bend the knees. So lots of knee bend to allow you to get towards the floor. So have a think about which option you'd like to try, And let's give it a go. So breathe in. And as you breathe out, fall towards the floor. Straight legs, bent legs, halfway, all the way. It doesn't matter, but keep breathing. And bring your hands to your big toes or to your ankles or to your shins. And relax your head. Let your head hang all the way. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. So, slow breath in through the nose. Slow breath out through the nose. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. One more time. Relax your shoulders, your face, your neck. Perhaps you can fold a little bit further. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, slowly come all the way back up to mountain and breathe out. The next position we're going to come into is star. Star is a transitional position that we use to help us get into triangle. So you want your feet wider than your hips, but not overly wide. And your hands are up at shoulder height, right? And if you notice, I hope you can see me, both my toes right now are pointing forward. And you're going to turn to your right side. So you're going to turn your right foot out and your left foot's going to stay exactly as it was. This is the start of triangle. Now remember, breathe in and out. Now breathe in. As you breathe out, reach your right hand as far as you can, like you want to touch the wall at the other side of the room. And as you breathe out, your right hand drops down towards your shin, or maybe you're higher up. Maybe it's above your knee, it doesn't matter. And your top arm reaches up towards the ceiling and the palm is facing forwards. Now, option here to make this a little bit easier is to bend the front knee slightly. It'll feel more stable and will not be so hard on the leg muscles. And another option, if you want to make this more difficult, remember to breathe, you can look up at your top arm. Press your feet firmly into the floor and take 3 breaths. So either looking forward or looking up. Breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Now inhale to rise up. And exhale, come back into star. So hands at shoulder height and both your toes are turned out. Now of course everything we do on the right we do on the left. So turn the foot in and turn the toe out. So you're now facing in the other direction, hands shoulder height. Breathe in. And as you exhale, try and reach as far as you can. This time you're going to your left hand side, right? And then the front arm drops, shin or higher up, above the knee, below the knee. Some people might find they can go all the way to the ankle. It doesn't matter. Top arm, palm facing forward, reaching up to the ceiling. Remember the option, soften the knee if you want to take a little bit off this pose. If you want to challenge yourself, look up to the ceiling and take 3 steady breaths. Breathe in and out. In and out. One more breath. Slowly inhale and slowly exhale. Now use your inhale to rise up. Coming back into star. And then exhale and come back to mountain. Feet hip distance apart. Hands are by your side. So now we're going to do tree pose, a balancing pose. Lots of options when you're teaching balancing. One option would be to hold on to something, a chair, a wall, a table, right? And other options are to be able to take a break from balancing if it gets hard on your body. So we'll start off with your right side. So bring your hands onto your waist. Both hands are on your waist. Keep a nice steady breath, inhaling and exhaling. So start with your right leg. I'll start with my left, it'll look better for you. And turn your knee out to the side. Now you can stay here, this is great. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, the foot can go on the calf muscle. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, the foot can go above the knee. But we really don't want to put the foot on the knee. Now once you feel that you're steady, you're going to inhale to take your arms over your head and take 3 breaths. Now breathe in and out. Now at any time you can touch your foot down, breathe in, breathe out. You can rebalance and then you can come back into the pose once again. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, remember the breath coming through the nose and out through the nose. Breathe out. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring your hands to your waist and take your foot down to the floor. Release your hands, coming back to mountain. Please give your legs a little shake here. And let's go on the other side. So you're turning the other foot out, knee to the side, standing leg is steady. Remember, options, hold on to a chair, a wall, a piece of furniture. Leave your toe right here. It does not have to come off the floor for this pose to be beneficial. Maybe you want to try low. Maybe you want to raise your arms. You choose. Breathe in and out. Maybe you want to challenge yourself and see if your foot can come a little bit higher on your leg. Breathe in and out. Breath in and breath out. As you breathe in, bring your hands onto your waist and breathe out to release your foot to the floor, coming back to mountain. Shake your legs, roll your shoulders, congratulate your body, well done me. And now we're going to skip cat, cow and rock because we're short of time. We're going to go to seated mountain. So for seated mountain, you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, yes? And you can stay here, you can lean against a wall, or you can lie out on the floor. Now again, because we're short of time, I'm just going to take rest sitting down rather than lying down. If you want to sit in a chair, that's also fine. But for a moment, just close your eyes if that feels okay and let your body relax. Relax your head, your neck, and your shoulders. Relax your right arm. And relax your left arm. Relax your abdomen and your lower back. Relax your right leg and your left leg. For a moment, relax your whole body and just notice your breath. Your whole body, but stay aware of your breath. And then just slowly and carefully, whether you were lying down or sitting, just bring your awareness back to the screen, back into the room. And just notice how you feel. The chat box is open. Does anyone have any questions about the sequence that we just did? Or maybe you have observations or thoughts or something you want to share? So I just popped up a couple of the next sequences to let you see. So once you've done this one a few times, and it might well that you do this for a week or 2 weeks, or maybe you do it for a month, it doesn't matter. There's no set time frame for how long you would teach one sequence. Then you'll see sequence 2 adds in some new things but keeps, so big toe is still there but half opening sequence is new. Star into triangle and tree still there. Cat cow still there, but we add pointing dog. And then you'll see as we move on to sequence 3, all of the first few we have done before, but then we add in butterfly, seal, and sleeping crocodile. So we're just taking the very first sequence and we're building on it and building on it and building on it. Then you'll see sequence 4, we're bringing in some new things, sandwich, table. We already learnt butterfly the week before or the month before. And that's why I said at the beginning, it's nice if you follow the manual, because then it'll just organically make it easier for you to teach, to say, you all know mountain sunrise, you all know tree, you all know. And also it allows the ability to advance in the ones that they've done over and over and over again, as they're also learning something new. Some pointers that I think are useful for teaching movement: always start with the breath. And emphasize the breath move connection. So that's me saying inhale, arms up, exhale, arms down, inhale, turn to the right, exhale, hands on your waist. So you want to make movement and breath work together. Build your poses from the ground up. I always said start with your feet. Mountain pose, hands by your side. And then we talked about lots of options, right? Options in tree. Give everybody loads of options, and remember that when you teach this sort of mindful movement, you'll look at a room full of kids doing triangle and they'll all be completely different, and yet every single one of them is absolutely correct, because our bodies are all different. We look different when we move our bodies. We're different heights and different sizes, so what you see in front of you is appropriate for that body. And I think this last one, really important. Keep your own breath even and steady as you model for your students, so you're making sure that your own breath is the leading factor as you are teaching. Now, I know that this is a lot, sequences, manual, curriculum, blah, 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 but if you want some help, there's a video library. So all of these sequences have been videoed for you. One, you could play them in your class, right? If that was something you'd like to do, or you can use them as a guide for you to learn from, or you could take them to your staff meetings and teach them to your colleagues, right? Win-win. Everyone gets the benefit then of breathe, move, rest. So please make sure, oh, that's my alarm telling me to stop talking. Make sure that you look at the video library, because I think you'll find it very beneficial. In all of our videos, also, you'll find one of the people in the videos is doing one version of the pose and somebody else is doing another version. So it lets you see the different versions actually in person. Has anyone taught this before? Is anyone teaching mindful movement currently in their classroom or their PE room? Have you seen any benefits? I thought I'd ask, because a lot of you have been coming to our webinars for a while now. So if you're already using it, please open up the chat box and tell me maybe some benefits that you've seen, or have you been using breathing? Have you been putting breath and movement together? Okay, you're all being very quiet. That's okay. So, any thoughts, any questions, any observations? I'm trying to think to share with you. Maybe Erin will pop on to benefits that we've seen kids definitely enjoy learning these movement pieces. Older kids, they enjoy the challenge of maybe being able to hold a pose. They start off holding it for one breath and you graduate to them holding it for 5 breaths. So there's a challenge element in there. I think at first kids can be a little bit self-conscious, and they fall over a lot, and they're anxious about what they're doing, but with time and repetition, it just becomes comfortable for them and normal. And generally their experience is, after a mindful movement practice, they feel better. Or certainly they feel more, as we said at the beginning, non-reactive, right? They feel more settled in themselves. Well, 30 minutes been and gone just like that. You know where we are. If you have any questions, you can email me, you can reach out to any of the Pure Edge team, you can get in touch via our website, however you choose to connect. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us for our summer series highlighting our curriculum. And if there's something else you'd like to see, let us know. We could probably organise that for you. Until the next time, take care, take a breath, and toodle pip.